All right. What is up? Let me check real quick that the categories are right. All right, that's good. Check one more place. Where are we at? Looking. That's not right. Okay. All right, I think we're good to go. All right. Oh, hold up. Let me make this full screen. Where does one do that? Oh my gosh. Can I really? Okay, there we go. All right. What is up, everybody? From when this video cut off, I guess, in the last episode, not much has changed, but in the real world, a lot of things have changed. I've actually, well, this is a lot of time in the future. I haven't streamed in a while. I don't remember a ton of stuff. I know we were looking for netherite, but it's been a little bit. It's been a fat minute. Mostly because I had a lot of really bad Wi-Fi, and so there was just a period where it was really, like, it just felt really. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, no, this is fine. It felt really disincentivized to like just stream. It was frustrating. I probably could have recorded videos anyway, but it was just I was in a funk. I also had like a lot of work stuff, a grant I was working on. Note to any of you dealing with. Okay, this is not. Is this right? Oh man. All right. Note to any of you going into higher education, grant writing is no bueno, no fun, no fun to be had. Um, I'm kidding, of course. It's like it's okay, but it was not. It's not good for your mental health, I'll say. Um, we have to figure out where on Earth. Okay, let's not die in lava. I'm trying to remember where on Earth does this connect. I should also say I apologize if the audio is in any way kind of wacky. This has been a switch to a new PC. You're not all dead. This has been a switch to a new PC as well. And so all of those factors combine mean that I'm going to have a little bit of an adjustment period. The probably most likely time I'm going to die in this run is like right now in this period where I'm trying to get back into it. So we're going to hopefully be careful and not do that. Okay, here's this. Well, we know where that is. I honestly want to keep looking for netherite. I also am really interested in trying to figure out like just a good place to go. Okay, well, hold up. Not there, apparently. Okay, well, we're... Okay, I'm gonna have to click fast. Fight this lava back. Okay. We're just gonna do this. Okay, where can I just want to mine to the left. But, so main goal today is don't die. We're gonna look for a little bit more stuff. And by stuff I mean netherite. I would really love to find a bit more. There have been a few more updates to Minecraft, I think, too. I believe they've added the spear in addition to maybe some other stuff. They had the copper golem when I was last in, but I'm sure there are some other updates. I don't know if the baby animals are in yet, but that would be cool to see. But yeah, lots of stuff to do in the world of Minecraft. And we're going to hopefully get into some of that in the coming weeks. We're going to hopefully also find some more netherite. That would be... How much do I have? None on me right now, which is probably smart. But I guess it doesn't really matter. If I die, I die anyway. If you die in the game, I die forever. Alright. Just going to get that. Just having the XP I feel like is safer. We're just going to keep on mining. My main goal with this is hopefully find netherite, and at the same time, I would really like just a long tunnel to go for traveling in the overworld better. Since we don't have an elytra yet, the nether is going to be my go-to. Might even set up like some boats and ice and stuff. I'll have to see. So we're just going to go a little bit. I'll probably go till I hit some netherite, and then we'll go back to the main area and just kind of check stuff out. Anyway, so this is probably a mining episode. I do want to get back into it a bit slowly and not get myself killed, like right here. And with that, what more fun could be had than a mining episode, you may ask? Well, with this mining episode, I don't know, I'm trying to think. Okay, hello. You can occasionally have me almost dying to lava. Can I mine here? There's one. How does this not connect? Okay, we're gonna do... I should have that. Okay, I'm trying to figure out... Really? Okay, this is looking like a bust. So we are going to go this way. And then we're going to go to the right after that. I'm going to try to put torches like here, just so it indicates a turn. Now can I go this way? Alright, cool. Alright, so anyway, story. I guess, one thing that I've wanted to do just kind of with this channel outside of gaming is just kind of make it a little bit more about general life stuff, but also just make it not like boring old man talks. And I say old because I am probably, I guess, geriatric to many of the people watching this, but at the same time, I think it is good just to kind of give it some like general vibe. Like this mining episode would be pretty boring without a little bit of spice of life. And I'm also almost out of torches. So I would say, I mentioned higher education in the beginning. I haven't really talked about kind of what I do before, and a lot of that is for just kind of privacy. But I think it's also like something that is a little bit important. And I'll tell you guys who have stuck around this long that I do research. So my main gig right now is related to a lot of research work. Just like oh my gosh. Just like I'm going to very carefully make this cut off. Let's see. There we go. Alright, oh my gosh. There we go. So my research works on cancer biology, and I've been doing it for like 5 years or so. What is up, Arian? And with that, I guess an important thing, at least for anyone out there listening, is a lot of stuff, like a lot of you I imagine are probably in school, you're busy. And I think something important to think about, even when you're doing like things that seem really busy, maybe school or just a job that's like important, is it's really easy to kind of convince yourself like, oh, I don't have time to do anything, or just kind of feel guilt for doing silly stuff too. And I think, at least with myself as someone in their like later 20s now playing Minecraft right now, it's important to still be kind of goofy and have fun with stuff. A lot of, honestly, what I've done with this channel is like a callback to stuff that I enjoyed when I was younger. So it's like going back in time like that, I guess feels a little, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, feels a little goofy, but I think it is. Alright, we're gonna try not to die here. I'm really fumbling on the new keyboard, but it's important to, I think, reconnect with some of that and do some of that stuff just for fun, because it's like, I don't know, in your mid-20s, your 20s, it feels really hard, and like there's a lot going on, there's a lot to keep track of, a lot of people to keep track of, a lot of things to do. Life starts to really get busy, and I think a lot of people do a good job kind of like whatever it is, like you have friends you play games with. I'm all out of arrows or all of torches. You have friends you play games with. You have maybe no friends you play games with. Maybe you're like in a new city by yourself, all alone. Maybe you're in the same city you've always been in, and life is pretty static. But in either of those situations, you're gonna have a lot of problems, and a lot of them start to feel a lot larger. People in your family are probably getting older, potentially getting sick, potentially dying. Potentially you're getting older in a bad way, getting ill, getting sick, you've been injured. Um, you're unable to do things you maybe wanted to do. That's probably less likely in your 20s, but still possible. I think reconnecting kind of with some of your past, as the guy playing Minecraft right now, is important, and it's something I would encourage you to do. At least once you guys get there. If you already are in your 20s, you probably know some of this, but um, don't be afraid to kind of hold on to some of that goofiness, um, because I do think it's important. And you can kind of reevaluate too. Like I'd say life kind of has almost 5-year chunks. I spent a really long time just kind of pushing myself, studying, pushing really hard. And looking back at that, I guess now like 10-year chunk of time, it felt fun at times, and it was rewarding to learn. But at the same time, it's really, I look back on the time and it's kind of a blur. And I had a lot of friendships and a lot of people that I met that were really cool. But the studying part, that was just kind of there. And a lot of people would say, well, that's higher education. That's pursuing academics. Sometimes it's going to be boring. That's kind of part of the grind is you finish it out, and then hopefully you get a reward, delayed gratification. But it really is a grind, a rat race that never ends. And it just kind of keeps going and going and going in a way that you kind of have to accept that, or otherwise you get in this almost loop of constantly feeling like you're behind, that you're not doing enough, that you're not enough. Not even in the sense of imposter syndrome, but more like just imposter syndrome of yourself, maybe. Um, I know I'm doing like what I can. I know I do a lot, but that fear that maybe I could be doing more, not compared to anybody else, but just like me. Like, could I be doing more? And that's something that you could always think to yourself, like, oh, I could be doing more. Um, but I think it's a little unfair to do that because it's a never-ending thing. Like, you're never going to be doing enough because you could always be studying something new. You could always be doing something new. It's important, I think, moments like this just kind of can center you in a way that, like, well, I can't really worry about all the crazy stuff going on right now. I'm busy just trying to mine and not die to lava. Um, which sounds goofy, and I'm sure a lot of people watching right now might think that, but it's something that I think just give it a shot and see what you think. You can't be on all the time, and if you can, you won't be able to do it for forever. Really. Alright, I'm not getting any netherite at all. I'm growing increasingly concerned that there's going to be like a mob behind me. Alright, there's lava. Alright, we're just going to run back. This is pretty far from where we were. I'll probably get some obsidian and maybe TP from here. We're just going to keep spam jumping. Yeah, we have gone pretty far, I guess, actually. Baked potatoes are incredible, I gotta say. Way better than bread, even though I think they are like almost exactly the same amount of food. Or three hunger fill. I'm gonna like turn this corner to... Alright. We're still going. It should be... No, it's not this. Dude, I feel so sluggish on this. I'm sorry for anyone watching. Alright, this is, I think, it up here. Alright, we go to the right. And we go up the stairs. Do I have any... Nope. Alright, that kind of stinks, but whatever. We're just gonna keep going up. And hopefully, probably the worst thing up here is skeletons, but yeah, nothing. We're gonna see, I guess, what happened to the copper golem. Maybe he's still going. Alright. Alright, do we got... Should be this way. And we're gonna head over here. I should probably get a door on this. We'll do that later. Alright. I'm gonna do that just for safety. That should be fine. This is looking good. See the dogs. Wow, I have way more dogs than I remember. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dogs. Holy cow. Got our golem. This is very oxidized. I guess he's gonna get oxidized too over time. He's putting stuff up though. Here, wait. Oh wait, I did get ancient debris. Okay, well that's sick. I honestly do not know how to break this down, I will say. Where would I have put it? Okay, apparently I knew how to do it in the past. Let me check. Oh, where's my phone? Hold up, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. We're going to Google how the heck I do this. How to make netherite bar. I need 4 scraps? Holy cow. Well, that's gonna take a while. Oh my gosh. You just look at me when you're chilling? That's kind of adorable. Here you go, little buddy. Oh, I do not like that. Where did you learn to do that? Get back inside. That is a no-no, sir. Not want you opening the doors. Does he just... He checks every chest to see where it goes? I mean, this is kind of cute, but I feel a bit bad. I should probably... He'll get there eventually, I guess. Oh, that's actually... I like this guy a lot. He's... It's just as long as he doesn't kill me. I should probably put more lights up. Alright, where was I? Now, where is that coming from? Sounds like it's like on top of me. Or outside, I guess. Alright, we're just gonna leave that be. Is he still looking? Alright, we're gonna help you out, my friend. Here, go check to the left. Is it like too far? I guess I'll figure it out. Or maybe he can't reach it. Is that the issue? Alright, regardless. So we got this. Okay. One thing I wanted to do is maybe mine a bit. Man, that feels kind of slow for efficiency 5. Alright, whatever. So anyway, I should probably get torches. Today we're just gonna be chilling a bit. I do not want to. Oh my gosh, I had torches the whole time. This is tragic. All right, whatever. We're just gonna keep mining. Eventually, this is, I think, going to be some kind of like underground floor. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to look like, though. Okay, why did I do this like this? There's probably coal here if I had to guess. I'm just going to keep mine in this way. But anyway, alright, mining story. Because I guess this is still technically mining. I'm trying to think. So from when we last met, I have traveled. I went to Japan and then to Vietnam, which I will say that is another little tag along just from, I guess, that previous note of life is hard. Remember to enjoy it. Be goofy if you can, as long as you can. I think it's important too to sometimes do maybe what some would advise is, where did I put this? Put it higher, I like it. Do what some would advise is maybe not the best economics decision to use some of the money you might have saved up, just because travel is really cool. It's cool to meet new people. It's cool to try new languages. I'm sure a lot of you guys have at least had some kind of language learning in school. Probably Spanish if you're from the U.S. Maybe something else if you're from somewhere else. But regardless of what that language is, I think it's important to kind of try to use it. I realized that a lot with Spanish when I went to Mexico too in the last year. It's been a long year, a lot of travel. But it was also really fun and rewarding. I'd say the hardest part is honestly going back to work and kind of getting back in the grind and focusing and being able to make stuff happen again. But at the same time, I came back from just a really busy period where I'd just written a grant, I went on vacation, and I came back feeling like just absolutely exhausted. This was kind of the end of last December. It's like around a month, 2 months ago. And it's just taken me a while to get back into where I feel productive, focused, able to kind of do stuff. Really just like the end of my rope probably in terms of like mental mental focus and everything I had in me going into it. And I think it's important during periods like that, you're going to have stuff like that happen where like life gets busy, you stuff needs to get done, stuff has to get done for work. And it's really easy in those periods, like when I've had busy tests, when I've had this grant, when I've had anything in this entire journey of like education, life, whatever it be, it's easy to let stuff drop. And anybody can have like a really strong habit base for them, but it's almost impossible to keep those habits when you're kind of just under this constant pressure of stuff happening, stuff going on that distracts you from them. Like you're almost, at least in the field that I'm in, you're almost constantly having to drag yourself back to these good habits, things you know, sleeping better, eating well, working out, and you kind of have to have this really intense diligence in order to not let those things slip, or at the very least not let them slip completely. I know for me, I've tried to prioritize this year, like eating better, sleeping better, because I really was in a period where like I would just come home from lab, it'd be like 10 p.m., and I'd go to Taco Bell, and I'd do that like, I'm going to say probably sometimes even 2 times a month. Or my bad, 2 times a week, maybe 3 or 4 times a week in the really bad weeks. See Arian, adios. But with that stuff, it's really easy kind of when you're on your own, just like living away from people, even if you have a roommate, to kind of lose track of like, well, what are the things that are important here? Like sleep can go, I'll just eat like whatever, I'll get stuff done. And you can do that for a while. You can do it for a long while. I could have done it for longer, but it really starts to be unsettling and not feel good once you kind of get out of that crunch period and realize, looking back, like just how much it is not good for you. And you know it's not good for you the whole time as well. But the act of actually like kind of putting your foot down and being like, the buck stops here. I got to do something about this. That's, I think, where you really need just discipline to kind of drag yourself back. And I wish I would have dragged myself back sooner and started kind of having those good habits. But it's when your kind of head is in the ground, you're like ostrich mode, you're focused, you're not thinking, you're just trying to get the task in front of you done. It's really hard. And I've been doing this for years, and I still don't have the hang of it yet. But I will tell you, kind of building those strong habits, you'll come back to them, and usually you can kind of do it, take to it like a duck to water, and you got to make sure you go back to them because if you go years and years and years of just kind of unhealthy stuff, then that's your new habit, and then it's going to be just impossible to drag yourself back, or at least very hard to drag yourself back. Um, to the very least, like even if you know you're going to be in that period, set like a calendar reminder to tell yourself, hey, 1 week after this crunch period, 1 month after this crunch period, note to self, like start going and doing this thing again. Start making sure you're keeping track of this again. Um, Even calendar reminders, mail yourself a letter, set yourself an email, I guess I should say now. Um, all of those things can kind of help remind you, like, oh, it is good to get like 8 hours of sleep and it is good to eat well. Um, because you can survive a long time without eating well. You could go, honestly, you could survive a long time without eating. You could go 3 weeks. That's a lot of stress. 3 weeks without eating anything at all, you could probably live as long as you're drinking water. You could probably go, I think the max study is like a couple weeks without sleep. So like you could put your body through some just nasty stuff and survive it, but it is just not what you want to be doing. There's going to be periods in life when you have to do that, but always, always, always try to have back of your head some kind of framework, some kind of system that's going to keep you accountable and like bring you back from that. That's really for me this kind of vacation I was talking about. A lot of the stuff I've been doing, that's what brought me back. Just kind of being with friends, being with family. But yeah, all right. We have expanded this space a bit. There's still more to be done here. There's a lot of mining to be done. There's a lot of boring stuff to be done. Um, Hopefully, me waxing poetic on the vicissitudes of life isn't too boring, because that's probably what I'm gonna resort to when we got to get through some of this boring mining stuff. I'll try to make it worth your guys' while. I'm sure a lot of you guys, for where you're at, like school is still a big priority. I can hopefully give some tips for that, or just tips in general. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and let's see. I need to get this on my keyboard bind. Hope you guys have a great one, and look forward to more later. All right, adios.